Hi, Josée here, Quantum Living Advocate. In this video, I want to share with you my personal process when I create a SEFI playlist and how I like to go about it. And I find it's a good way for sharing with someone else because then you have, instead of doing a print screen of our screenshot, of a playlist in your SEFI playlist, where like the person is not necessarily going to know where to find each of the different items, different SEFI frequencies in there, and maybe also why that was added to the list. I like to create my list before adding it in the AO scan and to keep it in my notes so that later on, if I want to use the same list for someone else, because I have those notes, then I'll know why I added this frequency, let's say, especially when it comes to homeopathic remedies. Like you could add something and not remember, okay, what was the symptom that this was helping for. So I like to be organized when I do stuff. So here is how I do it. So what I need to do this is this awesome list that Maureen, what was her name? Maureen something created and shared that list. And it's super practical. If you need that file, just let me know in the comment or reach out to me and I'll share it with you. It's also in the AOScan official Facebook group. And this file that I'm showing right here has every single SEFI frequencies. There's 1,049 of them, but it also has all the different symptoms that you could search in homeopathics. There's 485 different symptoms, search keyword is what I mean, and they're listed in here as well. So I'll use, for an example, like something that I did today. Somebody was needing help to create SEFI playlist for seasickness because they were going to be going and be at sea for a week, 8 days, whatever. And this is how I did it. So what I do, the first thing I do is I go in that list and then I search whatever makes sense to me, depending on what it is that I'm trying to create. In this example, it was motion sickness. So like you're nauseous usually one. So I will search nausea in here and then it will find, so this here, hangover, like this is part of this by symptom. So now I know that I could use that search symptom and go in quantum homeopathic and use that search. So I'll do that later. And then I could search what else that there is to find. This is another in the symptoms. You have to watch where you are located. Okay, so in quantum frequency, there's a frequency that's nausea. So I know I'm going to want that on the list, and my screen is here. So I'll write, it's disappearing, nausea, and it's in quantum frequency because I want to make it easy for the person to create a list after. So now I know that in quantum homeopathic, I could search by symptoms. So I'm going to go in the AeroScan now in SEFI and use quantum homeopathic. And then this will be my search by symptom keyword. Oh, I forgot to click you. Important to first tap on or click on by symptom, nausea. And then I have to look at the one that makes the most sense, seasickness, cart motion. Okay, so that tabacum here comes up. And then I'll write that it's from quantum homeopathic. I know that I'm not going to do everything don't want this video to be too long, but I could do another search, nausea, different kind of nausea. And I know that pulsatia is another good quantum homeopathic frequency for nausea. So what else can happen? Like I could search also now motion to see if there's anything about motion, like motion sickness is there. So I'm going to add motion sickness in my list, and this is in quantum frequency category. And then I'll search again to see if there's anything else that has to do with motion. No, not emotion. car motion here, and this tells me that this is in the, there's 485 different symptoms. This is in the by symptoms. So I go back here in the by symptoms, and now I'm going to write car motion, because I know that it's there, and it's the same as seasickness, and seasickness is actually what the person want, and it comes up with the same thing, but it could have been a different one, because depending on how, you know, specific you are with the symptom that you're looking for in quantum homeopathic, you could have received different results. And then what else can happen? You could be dizzy, you know, so I ear dizziness here. So I'm going to copy this and then add it to my list. No, that's not how I wanted to do it. I just want to text. Oh, whatever, I'll fix that later. This is in quantum frequency. What else? Balance, because it's like, it has to do with balance when you are at sea. What creates the symptom does have to do with balance. So I know I'm going to want to add this one as well from quantum frequency. And like, I'm going to check, like, because I did this one already a little earlier, and this was what I came up with, and it's the same ones I have here. So this one is a short list, but this is how I would do it. So there's other things, like let's say something that is a syndrome, like chronic fatigue syndrome, and it has multiple symptoms associated with that. So I'll take them one at a time. I'll do the process that I just did here, and then I'll look at everything that for each symptom. But what I do when I create my list in my notes is I mark next to it, especially when it's any homeopathic remedy, I'll write next to it for which symptom that is, because maybe some other day down the line, someone could have, like, maybe not chronic fatigue syndrome, but maybe, or they do have chronic fatigue syndrome, but they don't have the same, not every person will have the same symptoms. So I'll be able to create from my master chronic fatigue syndrome, that list that I created, because I have those notes. I say, okay, this is for the pain, this is for the fatigue, this is for like this and that. Then I'll be able to have this as my base list, and then create a custom list for someone with chronic fatigue syndrome, but that doesn't need necessarily all of the frequencies I put in the list, because they don't have all of the symptoms. So that's one of the reasons also why I like to have my list separate and then go create it. And when I create a list that have a lot, if it's within that 15 items maximum that you can have in a SEFI playlist, I'll just create the entire playlist in my SEFI playlist. And then when I want to use it for someone in particular that may not need all of them, what I can do is muscle test what they actually need, and then I'll use the copy function. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, I could have, let's say I have somebody with neck pain, but they also have headaches. So I'll use the copy function of the one with neck pain. I thought I selected neck pain. What did I do? Right, neck pain. Okay, so I want that, but the person has like neck pain with something else. I'll copy my neck pain so I don't have to start from scratch, and then I'll maybe I'll put the name or who it's for, or neck pain if it's neck pain and headache, something that I think I might use again. Like, I use that as my basis. This is another great tool that I find is very helpful. And what else did I want to say? I think that covers how I do it. I purposely chose an example that was going to be short, but sometimes I really come up with a lot of things. Let's say I'm searching for something that had 20 options, and homeopathic by symptom. Then when I create my list, then I'll write that there are 20 options by searching this symptom, so that I'll be able to go, when I create the list for someone in particular, I'll be able to go and do that search by symptom and do a scan with the person's profile pulled up. I'll be able to search to do a scan, and then I will reorder all the different options. Let's say there are 20 for pain, let's say, and pain is what I'm working on. And I'm not going to create a list with all 20, but I want to know that there are 20 for this particular thing. And so then I'll go and I'll take the time to do either all muscle tests, or I'll do a search and a scan, so a search by symptom and a scan to find out which top, like usually I like to go with the top 4 or 5. So this is how I do it. And then when I share it with someone, well, I make it look a little bit better than this here, but I put them in order, and quantum reach, then quantum frequency, in the exact same order that they'll find it, and in alphabetical order, so that it's easy for the person to recreate the list. And I like that better than taking a screenshot, because a screenshot is lacking information about why this is in a playlist. And also, now that we have 15, you don't have all 15 that you see in one screenshot, and I find it just makes it a lot easier for the person to recreate the list. So when it comes to helping others, I find that for me, this is a way to go. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments or reach out to me.